This game's not won on social media. This game's not won on telephones. This game is won with shoulder pads, helmets, mouth guards, and sweat. That's how the game is won.
Hello, welcome to Bill and Lisa's Coaches Show Part 1. We thank Dick Lumpkin's Auto Body for this portion of the program. Coach, Indians fall a tough one on Friday night, losing to Troy in a very close game, 14-0 score. Doesn't really indicate how close it really was. You talk about big plays. We talk a lot about that in this show. That's really what that game was, big plays. There was a big play in the first half. There was one. Troy took advantage of it. Looked like what appeared to be. Everybody was going to the right. The play was broken. And he ventured left and found 38 yards on the left-hand side and scored. What was the only score until late in the game when we were pushing and trying to make some plays happen. Indians fall 14-0. Coach, the one thing that stood out from the Indians' perspective was how solid our defense was the whole night.
Defense played well. The play you had talked about, actually it could have almost been a 5-yard loss, and hit him in the backfield, got spun around, and our pursuit we just over pursued. And when we came back around, he went up on the sideline, got a couple blockers up there. They reacted, pretty well, to it, and they ended up and scored on us. But I thought defensively, we were able to force, I think, 4 to 5 3-and-outs. But conversely, they were able to do the same thing. So there was a lot of 3-and-out punting. And even when we started the game, we had the ball 3rd and 2, and then 3rd and 2 right at the 50-yard line. And then it went down. We didn't gain any yards. It went down to 4th and 2. And I was really thinking about it. I said, "No, let's just play the. We need to play the field position." And they felt the same way too. We kind of just kept the punters busy, back and forth. We were even fortunate enough to get a piece of one of their punts, so we thought that was good. We had a key penalty on a 4th down that they were offsides. It got us a 1st down. So there was a couple situations where we had some opportunities. And we just couldn't come up with that big play. We couldn't get our running back shaken out a little bit, so to speak. We tried the option a couple times on the outside, and then the passing game we messed up a couple plays on the passing thing. So it was just overall we couldn't get a whole lot of rhythm going. I think both sides that was kind of the case.
Yeah, when you look at the game from a fan's perspective, there was a lot of 3-and-outs. There was, I think, the defensive. Both teams made big defensive stops when they had to. Our punter, I thought, did a nice job. A couple times we got the ball in. They did not get the ball in a good position. We had it deep in their spot. He did a nice job of really putting the ball in a good spot for our defense. And it
was a good game of field position. It was a good game of field position. In the one time, the one time I can fault our defense is the fact that we had them down, pinned him down, had great situation, 3rd and 10, and they came up, ran a 3 bubble and got 11 yards, and that kind of got their stick, the sticks moving for them. We later had them get the punt, but that would have really gave us a short field and maybe just give us
a penalty, I believe, on that play.
Yeah, and we just needed to get, we needed to get maybe just a jolt to the offense to get them, to get them going, because they were working their butts off. They're trying, and the Troy defensive line is outstanding. It's probably one of the better defensive lines in the league, and that's tough yards on those guys.
Yeah, I thought our offensive line really was trying to make some inroads there, and Jericho was able to find a couple holes there a couple times. And but like as you said, Coach, we just offensively couldn't find the big play and the big spurge. Yeah. But Indians will live to live another day, and we're back on the road for our final 3rd game road stint here as we go to West Carrollton this Friday. It's been a while since we've been to West Carrollton. Coach, I know West Carrollton's coming off of a tough game themselves. They fell to Stebbins, but played Stebbins, who a lot of people have a lot of respect for in this league, to a 3-point game. Coach, your thoughts on the Pirates?
On offense, they've got a lot of players back that have been playing for them for a while. And they play different positions, and their offense is unique in the fact that they kind of changed it around a little bit. You know, this past week they ran a 3-back offense. 2 weeks ago they were running 2 tight end, 1-back offense. but it's the same kind of people that they can move a guy, you know, from here and then put him out at wide receiver and then bring him back in the backfield. And those guys are just, you know, they're playmakers. And so what we've got to do is we've got to be able to make sure that we, you know, get a beat on, you know, who's in the game, where they're at in the game, you know, in terms of the offensive part of it. The quarterback is back from last year. He did not play against us last year. After the game last year,
they made a change.
They changed the quarterback and put him in. So we haven't had a chance to really see him, in terms of us playing against him. Now defensively, they play a real good pressure 4-3, 4-4 stack defense. Have some really good defensive linemen that can get upfield, make some plays. I think at the back end, it's those same guys that are playing that now come back on defense, and they just do a great job of flying around the football.
Coach, when you look at them, they got a new coach this year. He ironically is our varsity men's basketball coach, so we know who he is. But from a football perspective, what have you seen them a little different maybe from last year?
I think they're, in terms of their offense and defense, I think that they have, one particular thing that they're doing. And I know I just said that they do a bunch of stuff on offense, and the bunch of stuff they do is more formation. They're trying to put some window dressing here, but the basic concept of it is they're still trying to get the ball into the best players' hands, and I think that's the number one thing that we've seen on film throughout the time.
Coach, as we go into a week-to-week process, we've always talked about, it's 1 week at a time. The message to the kids coming in this week, what was your Monday meeting themes with them today?
Well, I think the Monday meeting, especially was the fact that we've got to, we changed around a couple things in terms of our blocking assignments on some plays, and just made a couple little adjustments here and there. We watched a couple other teams and how they do some things, and we saw a couple things that maybe we can do better that'll help our kids, our players, do better. So our theme this week was that we're going to continue to get better as we go. When we watched the film Saturday, there was amazingly a lot of decent things that happened that were just a little bit short of. It's just a thing. It's so ironic that when you're on defense, 10 guys can do the wrong thing, and one guy can just stop a play. 10 guys do the wrong thing, one guy can stop a play. When you're on offense, 10 guys can do the right thing, and one guy that does something wrong, and man, there's just so many times we're sitting back going, just that one block, we needed that one, you just needed to get there. 3 plays ago, you did it. And then we just didn't get it there. So we just got to keep preaching and keep doing it. It's not a matter of go out and you just go find all new stuff to do and you're going to surprise somebody, because you're going to surprise yourself in the fact that you're not going to be able to execute it. What you do is we've embraced our system, and not to say that this is all we're going to do, but we've embraced our system, and now we want to expand on it. We want to do some things that we think can help out. We don't want to have a bunch of tendencies and things along those lines. So we're working to do it.
Coach, one of the things that I had a conversation today with an athletic director in the league, and there's murmurs out there in some of the teams in the league that they're discouraged because maybe they lost or things are going wrong, and there's morale issues within locker rooms. That's not what I get here. We talked about this a few weeks ago, the guys in the hallway, the guys in the locker room. When you're in here, those guys are encouraging one another. While they may be disappointed that certainly we didn't win Friday night, they're looking for what's next. What's the next thing that we got to accomplish on Monday? I think that's a testimony, obviously, to you and your staff, but you're always keeping something, a carrot in front of them, keeping them not just encouraged, but keeping them on task.
Yeah, and, that's easier. When I preach my system, it's easy when you're going 10-0, and you go, well, this is how we just want to locate. We're all right. We don't want to get too high. And unfortunately, we're in a bit of an experimental testing ground here that I didn't necessarily want to be in. And I think that theory is holding correct. That our players come in here, they have great respect for the program, they have great respect for each other. They understand that they've been together for a long time this summer. Some of them for 3 years now. And it's everybody on board. You have to make sure, that it was disappointing, that it was a 14-0 game. But like I told some of the kids, I said, I think we would have reacted the same if it was a 48-44 game. You can't look at one group of people and say, well, that's you. Every game is different. Every game's unique. And in our league this year, the scores are amazing. I mean, you sit there on Friday night. And it used to be for the last 3 years, you sit on Friday night, okay, this is who's going to win, this is who's going to win, this is who's going to win. And just the stuff that's coming out, it's just amazing.
Our score was the least of the surprises on Friday night.
Totally shocking. And the thing is start on Monday, shake it all up again, throw it out, and who knows what's going to happen. You just want to make sure you get your players as healthy as possible and as on board as possible, and I think that we're accomplishing both of those missions.
One of the things that resonated with me in our conversation last week on the show, and it hit again last week at a time when someone had asked me about our team, and you had said, I believe that our guys should have confidence, and our guys are going to be confident in what they do. Regardless of whatever our record is. And I think that shows, and it showed Friday night, not necessarily in the fact that at the end of the day it was a win for us, but just the way we carry ourselves. There's a confidence that we had, and I thought there was a confidence in even the way we walked off the field. It wasn't sulking. It was, hey, we're running off the field. Hey, we're confident of who we are. We're still Piqua, and we got to get another one on Friday night.
Yeah, that's the object is you got to go out there and you got to do the best you can, and you got to do what you do, and then once it happens, evaluate it, change what you need to change, do what you need to do, and then it's time to move on to to the next one. There's so many moving parts, so many things that you can't control that you think you can control. Mm-hmm. And when you get to that point, then you've totally lost it. But all we try to do is we try to just teach these guys over. And if we taught it 10 times, then we probably should have taught it the 11th time. And if we one of our coaches said, "Man, we've gone over that 1,000,000 times." And I said, "Well, I'm excited to hear the 1,000,000 and first time you go over it, because that's what we got to do sometimes with some inexperienced players."
The value of teaching. It's so important, particularly when you have a young group and you're teaching them, as you talk about football intelligence, a lot of that goes on film, but it also translates into training and what you're doing on the field in your preparations, not just on Friday nights.
Yeah, and I can't say enough about these guys also in the weight room. I mean, they're doing a great job in the weight room, and there's a lot of young guys that aren't playing a lot right now that are not wasting the season. They're not sitting back going, well, I'll wait till next year till these guys graduate. They're in there working hard in the weight room. But we had a couple kids, put on maybe 10 pounds of good quality weight. We've got a lot of people that are maintaining their strength. It's hard as a starter to get stronger, but you can maintain your strength, for basically the purpose of not being injured. But there's a lot of those younger guys that are increasing the strength, getting better. We're getting a lot more guys that are kind of hanging around where I'm at during practice to get in and not over off the side saying, "Oh, I hope he didn't see me somewhere." And I think that's important. So everything, we're looking at a lot of good things coming through.
Well, speaking of a lot of good things, let's talk about our two seniors tonight, because those guys have, again, an example of people that put their time in and put work in. And they are constantly, if they're not on the field, they're encouraging. That's James Hess, and of course one of our Marzies. There's a lot of Marzies, but I'll let you talk about those guys and really what they've been for us this year and Piqua football.
Well, James, it seems like he's been to our camps, as does Wyatt, from second grade. I think, as a matter of fact, one of them did come in first grade. But those guys have been in our camps. They've been in our program. They've wanted to be pickle football players. And James actually went out and wrestled this past year, and I think it really helped him a lot. That he has a little bit more confidence, and but he is a guy that if he could be here another year, if we could redshirt.
He'd be a great example of that.
It helped him out considerably. But he's really developing now. He's really coming into his own a little bit, and his attitude has always been great. He's out there tonight, running West Carrollton defense. He was out there at outside linebacker, doing a great job. He does a great job with our scout team, and he comes out. He doesn't come out and stretch and then stand and watch practice and then go home. He participates in it, and we appreciate that. Now, and Wyatt is the same way. He comes out to practice. He was playing free safety most of the time. He's a scout team free safety, and it's great to have two seniors back there, as leaders, and also they come in on Saturdays and play. It's proof that they love the game, that they're here to play the game. They don't just want to play the game when the lights are on or when there's attention. They don't mind playing the game when nobody's around on a dusty Saturday morning. So both of those guys are outstanding people in my book.
We've said this before about other seniors, and this rings true very much for both these guys. They're likable, and the other guys like being around them.
Yeah,
and those are great traits for being a good teammate. And as you talked about, in those scouting situations, they're not afraid to do the harder work or get their hands dirty a little bit, and that's something to be appreciated, not just on Friday nights, but all the other days, particularly Saturday mornings when you don't have to. Mm-hmm. Coach, we certainly wish you all the best of luck as we go to West Carrollton on Friday night. We'll be back for part two. We're going to talk to Wyatt Marzi, and then we're going to talk to James Hess. We're going to find a little bit about what it's like to be a Pickle Indian and what their plans are beyond high school. We'll be right back. Welcome to part two of the Bill Nace's Coaches Show, the players portion. Guys, I'm going to have you introduce your names and the positions you play.
My name's Wyatt Mars, and I play wide receiver and defensive back.
I'm James Hess, and I play wide receiver.
Guys, let's talk a little about the year. Coming off of a tough loss at Troy, but there was a lot of electricity. I mean, I'm sure from your guys' perspective, being on the sideline and hearing and being a part of that game had to be special for you guys.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what that was like for you.
It was really electric over there. The camaraderie is insane on the sideline. We're trying to hype everyone up. We were trying to promote the players, get the crowd excited. It's a lot of work, but it's just a team effort at that point.
Yeah. James, talk a little bit about what was it like from your perspective being over there.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty tough loss, but I did like watching the defense play. The defense played pretty good. So.
Yeah, had our moments, no question. Pickle Indians, you guys have been a part of this program for a while. You guys put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the program. James, let's start with you. What has that been like for you to be a part of this program and just to be a part of it on not just on a Pickle Troy game, but throughout the whole season? And keeping in mind, you guys put in a lot of time in the offseason.
Well, it's been great. You get to meet a lot of new people. I've known a lot of them since like third grade. I don't know.
Playing through the youth football system and junior high. Yeah. Marzi?
Being an Indian has helped me physically and mentally. I've met a bunch of new friends. It's helped me at school. It's helped me get stronger. And it's helped me get smarter too.
You've got a little unique scenario. Dad played.
Yeah.
Got a brother that's played.
Nice.
So it's kind of in the family.
Yeah.
Your uncle played. You got a cousin on the team.
Man.
So it's kind of in the family. What's that? So pickle football's been around for you guys for a while. So to be a part of it had to be pretty special for you too.
Yeah, it was. My dad introduced me to it at junior high. I didn't play at youth level, but after that first year, I knew I was going to stick with it.
Good. Guys, let's talk a little about, for you, plans beyond high school. And when you're planning on doing graduation? Here, several months. I know it seems like a long ways away. It'll be here before you know it. It's just you snap your fingers and it's here. James, talk a little bit about your thoughts on what you're thinking about doing post post-high school?
Well, I currently work at Pickwick Car Star, and I would like to end up being a painter and body man, but my dad's going to make me take a 2-year business class at Edison.
So let's talk about, I'm sure you get to take a class, not I have to take a class, right? So the part of that is he's a business owner himself. You guys got a little family business. Wants to get you to kind of understanding what it takes to be a business owner, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about, from your perspective, what gets you excited about cars? And I know you've kind of been around it your whole life, but kind of talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's like, I don't know, it's just something about doing it. Like, my family's done it forever. I don't know.
Like getting your hands on it, getting your hands dirty?
It's better than, like, sitting in a classroom.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe you're going to be one of those entrepreneurs that we'll see on TV having your own show with your hands underneath the hood and doing some reality show.
Yeah, maybe.
James, thanks. Marzi, for you, what's it like? What are you thinking about post high school?
I think I'm going to go to the College of Cincinnati for mechanical engineering. I want to become a mechanical engineer, find some business, and work with them through co-ops and stuff.
Cincinnati's got a great co-op program.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people there. That's one of the reasons why they go there, just because of the great opportunity. Yeah. So, guys, I certainly wish you guys all the best of luck the rest of this season, and certainly as you get ready to graduate. But hey, let's take care of business with West Carrollton on Friday night.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Guys, I'll take care of tonight's Bill Neese's Coaches Show. Just a reminder, the Indians will be on the road. They'll be at West Carrollton. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. You can catch the game on WPTW. You will also be able to recap the game when we come back here next week for the Bill Neese's Coaches Show. For Mr. Hess and Mr. Mars, I'm Chip Harry, your host. We'll see you next week.